Now we are going to start our discussion on metatarsals. So of course we have 5 metatarsals starting from medial side to lateral side. So we'll start our counting from medial side. The 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So these are the 5 metatarsals in total. So which are mainly numbered from medial to lateral side, and each metatarsal is actually a miniature long bone, and it of course have a shaft, head, and also a base, right? This base is also called as proximal end, whereas the head side is called as the distal end, right? So it's same like our metacarpal bones as we discussed in upper limb, right? So if you see, the shaft is slightly convex dorsally, but it's concave ventrally, and it is longitudinal axis is presmoidal in form, and it tapers from base to head. The base or proximal end is set obliquely in such a way that it projects backward and laterally, whereas the head or distal end is flattened from side to side, as you can see, flattened from side to side. So metatarsals versus metacarpals, they're like quite similar to metacarpals, right? So let us see the side determination of metatarsals, how to find of which side. So mainly the base of metatarsals are obliquely set so that the deeper edge is directed backward and laterally, whereas the sides of first metatarsal bone can be formed out by examining the kidney shaped facet on the base. Actually on the base, if you see, there will be a kidney shaped facet, and the hilum of which is directed laterally. So now we'll observe the first metatarsal by a separate bone. So this is the diagram. You can see the metatarsal in detail. First metatarsal. This is actually the shortest, thickest, and stoutest of all metatarsal bones, and it is mainly adaptive for transmission of body weight. Hence, it is strongest. So its proximal surface of the base. You can see here the proximal surface of the base has kidney-shaped facet, or actually it articulates with the medial cuneiform bone, right? Next, coming to the second metatarsal, you can check out here. This is the second metatarsal. Actually this is on plantar surface, right? Not on dorsal surface, it's plantar surface. So this is the first metatarsal, this is the second metatarsal. This is the longest metatarsal. It has wedge shaped base, right? And the lateral side of the base has two articular facets on lateral side. So of course this will be medial side, this will be lateral side. So here it has mainly two facets and a large dorsal and small plantar, each of which is subdivided into proximal part and lateral cuneiform bone and a distal part. So the second metatarsal lateral part is for lateral cuneiform bone. You can see it will articulate with the lateral cuneiform bone, okay? And whereas its distal part is for third metatarsal. So its distal part is to articulate with third metatarsal. Next, coming to medial side of the base, bears one facet placed dorsally for medial cuneiform. So here on the medial side, it is having a facet for the medial cuneiform. So this is about second metatarsal. Next, coming to third metatarsal. This is on the lateral side of the base, has one facet placed dorsally for the fourth metatarsal, right? And the medial side of the base has two facets, dorsal and plantar, for second metatarsal bone. Next, coming to the fourth metatarsal, the proximal surface of base is quadrangular. It articulates with cuboid bone. Yes, you can see here the first, second, third metatarsals articulate with the cuneiform bones, namely medial, intermediate, and lateral. Whereas coming to fourth and fifth metatarsals, they of course articulate with the cuboid bone. So now we are talking about fourth metatarsal. Its proximal surface quadrangular, articulate with cuboid bone, whereas its lateral side, this one, the lateral side is having one facet dorsally for fifth metatarsal bone, and the medial side, the base has one facet dorsally, subdivided into proximal part for lateral cuneiform and distal part for third metatarsal. So distal part for third metatarsal, proximal part for lateral cuneiform bone. Next, coming to the fifth metatarsal. Fifth metatarsal on the lateral side of the base has large tuberosity. This is called as styloid process, right? And yeah, laterally it has styloid process. And the medial side of base has one facet for fourth metatarsal bone, and the plantar surface of the base is grooved by tendon of adductor digiti minimi. Of course, this little finger, so abductor digiti minimi is having a groove, especially on plantar surface. This is the dorsal surface side. On the plantar surface, you can find that groove. So this is about different metatarsals. Now we'll understand different attachments of metatarsal bones. A part of tibialis anterior is inserted on medial side of base of first metatarsal. Over here there is attachment of tibialis anterior, and the greater part of peroneus longus is inserted on large impression at inferior angle of lateral surface of base of first metacarpal. Over here this is the medial surface, this is the lateral surface. So here there is attachment of peroneus longus, and here there is attachment of tibialis anterior. Next, coming to the peroneus brevis is inserted on dorsal surface of tuberosity of fifth metatarsal. So fifth metatarsal on dorsal surface on this tuberosity, here there is attachment of peroneus brevis. Next, coming to peroneus tertius is inserted on medial part of dorsal surface of base and the middle border of shaft of fifth metatarsal. Over here there is attachment of peroneus tertius also. Next, coming to flexor disci minimi brevis arises from the plantar surface of base of fifth metatarsal. Of course, plantar surface, this is the dorsal surface, right? And flexor disci minimi brevis arise from plantar surface of base of fifth metatarsal. Next, the shaft of metatarsal bones give origin to interosseous. Of course, the shaft will give attachment to interosseous muscle. So let us see about ossification. Each metatarsal bone ossify from one primary center, one secondary center. One primary center appear in the shaft during 10th week of fetal life in the first metatarsal, and during the 9th week of fetal life in the rest of metatarsal. And one more thing, in the metatarsal, the ossification center first appears in the base for the first metatarsal, but from 2nd to 5th metatarsal, the ossification center appears at the head. This thing you also know in the upper limb, right? Secondary center appears for the base. Actually, this is mainly about secondary center. Primary center appears normally for them, but the secondary center, only one secondary center first appears at the base of first metacarpal during 3rd year, and for the heads of other metacarpals between 2nd to 4 years. So all the secondary centers unite with the shaft at 18 years, and there is also a separate center for tuberosity of the 5th metatarsal bone, and that may be also present especially for this 5th metatarsal because it is having a stylar process. So by end of this, we have completed everything regarding metatarsals. So once again, let us understand like how to differentiate each metatarsal from one, and also how to determine the side determination. So for example, if you take the first metatarsal, you can easily identify them because it's thickest, stoutest. You can see it's somewhat thicker when compared with all this, so easily you can find. So coming to its side determination, just very simple. You can see on its lateral side, it bears a tubercle mainly for the second metacarpal. That is, it is having two facets. It will have two facets for the articulation to the second metatarsal bone. So that is the thing, how you can determine the side of the first metatarsal. Coming to the second metatarsal, for this also it's very simple. On its medial side, it will have two articular facets to articulate with the first metatarsal. So like that, you can easily differentiate the second metatarsal side determination. And coming to how to differentiate the second metatarsal from third metatarsal, if you see second metatarsal is longest when compared with third. And one more thing is that it will have two articular surfaces on the medial side, whereas on the lateral side it will have only one articular surface. So like that also you can easily find out. Coming to the third metatarsal, it will have only one articular surface on the medial side, whereas on lateral side it will have one articular surface for the fourth metatarsal. So coming to fourth metatarsal, of course it will also have on medial side one articular facet for third metatarsal, and on lateral side also one articular facet for fifth metatarsal. Coming to the fifth metatarsal, it is easy to find it out because it is having a styloid process, right? So this is how we can find out the metatarsals. Next we'll start with phalanges of our leg.